you look at the entire earnings so far, we've seen most of the Nifty companies are reporting earnings, and nearly around 45% of the reported earnings, we're seeing strong numbers to inline numbers, and the rest, of course, have been weak or in terms of mixed numbers. Broadly, the trend in terms of the earnings this time has been fairly better than at least the last quarter, because this time at least the corporate banks have slightly performed better versus a very poor last quarter. In fact, some of the companies that did see good amount of upgrades are L&T, Reliance and HCL Tech, as well as we did see earnings upgrades coming in for an NTPC. We of course did see L&T reporting good earnings. Some of the companies which again have gone ahead and seen good amount of downgrades there on account of the pressure on the earnings were especially in terms of the auto companies, Tata Motors, Bajaj Auto, Bharti Airtel, Ultratech Cement, as well as Asian Paints. These are the companies wherein we did see good amount of the earnings downgrades coming in. In terms of Dr. Reddy's, although we did see Dr. Reddy's posting a beat in terms of the estimates, the overall earnings momentum was definitely weak. ICICI Bank and Kotak Mahindra Bank also did see some amount of downgrades for FY18. But if you look at the entire sectoral breakup, the IT, of course, sector has reported a resilient earnings, strong deal wins. Overall guidance has been healthy enough. Wipro, of course, was an outlier in this trading, in this entire result season in terms of the IT pack. Cement, again, volumes have been resilient, but cost pressures continue. Autos across the board, especially the two-wheeler segment, they have reported weak earnings. Four-wheelers have been relatively steady, barring a Tata Motors. In fact, in terms of the FMCG sector also, we did see good amount of volumes being fairly resilient. In terms of the private banks, a mixed bag. Corporate banks slightly better than the last quarter. The banks like HDFC Bank did show some amount of uptick in terms of the GNPAs. Kotak was stable. On the NBFC side, of course, we have seen the underlying growth momentum, especially for vehicle finance NBFCs being good. HFCs did report some amount of slowdown in terms of the disbursements. PSU bank slippages have come off from the very highs of the last quarter itself. If you look at the metals pack, Vedanta was weak, JSW Steel was fairly better. Pharma relatively has been weak, be it Cipla or Lupin, and an overall weak DRL. So I would say most of the earnings, if we look at it, it is good to decent earnings, at least across the board, and some amount of upgrades also coming in as of Q1.